Let's unbox and set up our new Bambu Lab A1 Mini 3D printer. I'm going to be following Bambu Lab's own instructions for unboxing and setting up, which you can find online at the link below. I'll start by opening the box. Bambu themselves note that the packaging may be different, so if your packaging looks different than this, don't be alarmed. Unseal the bag. In the top, I have a Bambu Lab kit with some tools and spare parts. Remove the cardboard from the top. Looking at it from the top, remove the packing cardboard and the foam. To remove the printer itself, Bambu recommends that you not touch the rail in front here, the Z-axis rail. Instead, grab it from the bottom and pull it upright. Set the printer aside. Pull out any extra packing material. We have a spool holder, disclaimer and safety guide, some warnings, general warnings, some sample filament, PTFE tube, and a desiccant packet that we can use with our filament container to keep our filament dry. Make sure to check all the nooks and crannies of the packing material, as sometimes there are spare parts stored there. For instance, in this piece of packing material, there's a part that we're going to need later. Included in your box is a quick start guide. It tells you everything that's included in your box, and it takes you through the unpacking process step by step, which we'll do now. The accessory box includes some hex wrenches, a needle for cleaning out the nozzle, a spare wiper, a connector to keep the cables organized, some lubricant, grease, some screws for the spool holder. We'll need those. This is for a scraper that you can print separately. We'll take a look at that in a later video. These are screws for the purge wiper. We'll need those. We also have a blade for the scraper. Again, that'll be a later video. This is a bracket for the spool holder. We need that. And we have some spare cutters if we ever need those in the future. So we'll take out the wrenches and set aside the rest of the accessories. Now we're going to remove the foam from underneath the X-axis guardrail and from underneath the bed in the front and in the back. Take off the plastic bag that's protecting the X-axis guardrail. Next, we'll snip the zip tie and remove it. Slide the print head out a little bit so we can remove the foam that's protecting it. And we'll also take off the cardboard. Next, we're going to remove this plastic brace. This was in place during shipping to keep everything solid, but now we need to remove it. And there are 4 screws. There are 2 in the back and 2 in the side here. Next, we're going to tighten 3 screws underneath the print bed in the corners here, here, and back here. There's no screw on this corner to tighten. The screws were loosened during shipping to prevent damage, but now we need to tighten them up. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. They didn't require very much tightening, just a little bit. Now we're going to install the purge wiper. It just slides right into place on the end of the X arm. There's a bag labeled for purge wiper with a single screw. We're going to use that to fasten the purge wiper into place. Okay. Now we'll install the spool holder base plate. This piece here, it's going to fit in this orientation. And again, we have a bag with 2 screws and it's marked for spool holder. Once that's on, I take the spool holder and just slide it right on. Take the PTFE tube out of the bag, insert one end here and the other end here. And you can use the cable organizer to keep the cables together. And finally, we can remove the sticker. I've plugged in the machine, and now I'll flip the switch to turn it on. On the screen, we'll tap Start and choose English, North America. Now here we can connect the printer to Wi-Fi, but you can also do this step later. So for now, we're going to skip this step and tap Agree and Agree and start the calibration. The printer will work through several calibration routines, including motor noise reduction and vibration compensation. The process will take about 10 minutes, during which time your printer will make all sorts of interesting moves and noises. When the screen says calibration completed, you can tap to continue, and we get a notice about binding. Once again, we'll do that process later, so we can tap OK to skip. And now the printer is set up and calibrated and ready to print.